This is a special episode. Today, we are not traveled to a single place, but a several corners of the world. Places where different cultures show us how they understand and honor death. But more than that, this is an intimate space created with love for anyone who has lost someone dear. Because when someone leaves, something inside us shifts. And sometimes we need words, gestures, stories to remind us that we are not alone. This episode is a hug in sound, a moment to pause, to remember, and to discover that true love never disappears. It simply takes a new shape. The pain of losing someone is universal, but the way we walk through that pain, how we honor an absence, varies beautifully around the world. In Japan, during the Obon festival, families light lanterns to guide spirits back home. They prepare their loved ones' favorite foods, speak to them softly, and believe the spirits are close, listening. In Mexico, Day of the Dead is not about mourning, it's about reunion. Altars are covered with marigolds, candles, and food. There's music, laughter, and storytelling, because as long as someone remembers you, you're never truly gone. In Ghana, coffins tell a life story. If you were a fisherman, you might rest in a boat shaped coffin. If you were a farmer, in a giant ear of corn. Death becomes a celebration of identity. In Indonesia, particularly, among the Toraja people Sulawesi, the bond with the dead remains very much alive. Families may live with the involved body of their loved one for months, even years, caring for them, dressing them, and talk to them as they were simply ill. The funeral comes later, once the family has saved enough to give a proper collective celebration. This extended time allows grief to unfold slowly, gently, in the presence of others. Because love is not a rush, and mourning shouldn't be either. In all these traditions, one thing remains the same. We don't want to forget, we want to keep caring. And more than that, we want to transform sorrow into presence, into a living memory. In Ukraine, an extra plate is left on the table for those who've passed because they are still part of the household, the meal, the day. All over the world, silent rituals exist. That photo that never gets moved, that letter fold 1,000 times, that song that only plays when you want to feel close again. And maybe you have your own. Maybe you just visit a certain bench in the park, or you cook that special recipe, or perhaps you just look up at the sky and whisper, I wish you could see this. Each small act is a quiet way of saying, you are still with me, even if I can't touch you. To honor those who left doesn't always mean building an altar. Sometimes it means living in a way that will make them smile, telling their story, planting something in their name, forgiving, choosing love. Because love doesn't end with death, it becomes quieter, deeper, even more ours. And somehow that presence transforms us. It makes us softer, more present, more human. Losing someone isn't something we get over. We learn to live with their absence until one day the pain gives way to warmth and their memory starts to shine. This episode is a safe space, a soundscape for anyone who needs to cry, to breathe, to feel. Don't be ashamed of your sadness. It's just love with nowhere to go. Remember a laugh, a gesture, a moment. And if you can, tell them something silently in your mind. No one here will judge. Before I close this episode, I want to dedicate it to my dad, to the man I admire, I love with all my heart. He loved discovering new cultures, and from the time I was little, he was my greatest teacher. He taught me how to wonder, how to listen, how to see the world with open eyes. This podcast, deep down, is also a way to honor him, a quiet tribute to all he taught me, to his curiosity, his stories, and the way he made me feel safe and inspired. Through every word I speak, I'm still learning with him, still sharing his light. Thank you for joining me in this intimate journey, a journey through memory, love,